5 total for G2 in groups is enough for them to realistically make playoffs, right? So ACEND pretty much can get into that spot, look lively, and this is the kind of like comp that they were very keen on running recently. Surprised a lot of people, turned a lot of heads at Champions. G2 running the same exact thing. I'm curious statistically when it was the last time we saw these comps play off against each other in EMEA, because I feel it was a couple of years ago at this point.
Well, Lothar was referencing the beta, so a while ago, perhaps. But we start here in the pistol. ACEND are going to be starting on the defensive side. Very quickly, Ron, in terms of this start for ACEND, do you think starting on the defense is going to help them?
I think so, just to know exactly how these guys are going to play. Maybe see they could get a bit more comfy on the operator. Nuki's wasted no time to try and close that distance. Him versus Zeke, it was a bit of a one-sided affair, I think, combined. Zeke strikes first this time on split.
Wow, well, good start to the round here for ACEND. They have the advantage. Not only that, but they have the numbers down here in the B side as well. 1 in B main. That's bone cold. Keep eyes on this, because this is exactly what you're going to see over and over again, is that B main control from him. Avova, he's found one. Zeke is out, traded out 1 for 1, and we're looking at the 3v4. G2 down a player, and the spike luckily recovered as they begin their walk. They want to go to A. They want to try and get across to this A site. Or do they want to wrap around the back at Heaven? That is the call here right now. Mixwell went back up through Heaven. There's a player here on the left side. It's Dark Zone. He's ready for 1. Look at a strike, gets a second. And now just Meadow left in a 1 versus 4.
A lot of ideas that G2 could run with. The mid-round calls are always exciting. The adaptations they have to make. Now Meadow, 20 HP to his name. Can't really do much other than that. Good response, certainly, over from Staxo, that was expecting maybe that wraparound on Mail. Had a nice little angle to play from and is able to get a couple of kills. And G2 now, having a lot to do. Neriko looking likely to come in. Just maybe a sheriff pickup from Hoodie, but could be changed up. And ACEND not panicking too much with what G2 were about to throw at them. This kind of pace is what can really send a lot of teams to unravel. Not this case for ACEND. They're happy to try and face it on and win those fights.
Well, we'll see if G2 can pose much of a threat here. I don't think so. It should be a cleanup now for ACEND. There's nothing purchased here for G2. They're going to be charging their way down. Good kill from Bone Cold. Nukia tries to get something out of the paint shells. Talking point, certainly him being back in the raised head. One of the most unbelievable performances on map 1 here. Real reason as to why we even got to split in the first place was his impressive carry over on Bind in map 1. Excited to see if he's going to be able to deliver that same impact. Unfortunately, we don't get to see Mixwell back on the chamber. In fact, he'll be playing the Jet. We've seen him in action on an ACEND, but as expected, G2 get wrecked, and it's flawless for ACEND.
Not too much lost out. Big difference, I think, as well as having Staxo on the Sage, just giving Zenith that freedom to keep playing that Jet. Staxo can still be aggressive and perform when he needs to. But there's going to be a lot of this kind of like defensive aggression coming out on the B side with that Omen playing there for the most part. The paranoias, the slow ups, the paint shells. Something that G2 are trying to respond with in time. But Staxo that actually goes down early.
Yeah, the paint shells from Nukia just dispels that wanted B aggression they wanted to run early. They had to drop back because of it. Now we got to keep eyes on Mixwell as we're on board with him walking through mailroom. And he's going to meet some resistance in the form of CNED with the Marshall, who gets the info, backs away, takes a shot. No kill for him.
2 players on the low ground. Bone Cold going to be watching this cross as they make their way in. The Sage roll is a bit of a different one, and Bone Cold's able to try and hold on there for the most part. And Avova now in the high ground. Just him and Meadow yet to play. Meadow still heading over towards B.
Oh, Meadow. Oh, he doesn't check the wide angle. Bone Cold caught the timing across wide, and that's going to result in a 3rd kill for him. He also picks up the orb. So things looking very good right now for Bone Cold and Avova. Oh, he is into the clutch. The 1v3 needed. Talking point for Lothar was this Omen diff. Well, Bone Cold bests him in the duel this time around. 4K for him and 3 rounds for ACEND. Great start on split.
Just those kind of moments where...
Put that up. And
yeah,
if G2 can sort of counter him.
He's dying for the new patch and update to come in. That and Brimstone, bless Astra, he's more than down at this point.
Yeah, that could even improve ACEND further. Maybe back-to-back champions, you know, who knows?
It's also just the fact that you do have that punchiness of the teleport that allows you to get in onto B main, especially as we've been seeing so much utility. Like, look, just watch. this kind of utility thrown in the choke straight away, you can TP into that corner if you really, really want. But Bone Cold can play in these aggressive spots, TP out. These one-ways have been so pivotal too, just to allow him an easy entryway. You have more stall with Astra, but Omen does have that potential to pop off when needed.
This is such a cool play. I love this in G2, popping through the cage. It isn't going to work out, but, you know, the idea is that Bone Cold, ice in his veins, flawless round for Ascend. That is so clean up against the low buy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just aim practice for him at that point. And these kind of things where, like, G2, okay, they go for the stage wall that goes kind of across this elbow position, I suppose. This time, much more de facto kind of execute. Still isn't enough. Bone Cold's able to hold in this spot. Like you said, if he's up against better weaponry, yeah, that might be a bit more of a stretch. But he's 10-0 right now. G2 could be in a bit of an issue if Pipson called for a timeout. Doesn't have much to work with now. The problem, I suppose, as well, is that G2 kind of doing the same stuff, like using a lot of utility early, not putting much pressure towards mid. Boombot going to be dedicated. Paint Shell's already been used to stop that B main aggression. Zeke just close it up. Now there's very little that G2 could do to try and get in and do some damage here.
Look at that. A one-way wall to see the feet. Love it from Starkstone. It's worked out for the... That is disgusting.
That's tilting.
That is real disgusting. Now Zeke... Oh my goodness. This is just nerdy. Nerdy stuff from Ascend. On the ropes for the one-way wall. There's not much you can do here, G2.
What if it turns to be like splits the new Ascend? Even the showstopper dedicated.
Luckily, Mixwell will avoid that. He just styles on him. Now as the Vandal in play, he's low. Trying to recover, you will. But kill comes in from Mixwell. Maybe we should hold our breath for just a little bit longer here because G2 have weapons. And now they begin to try and figure out how to deal with Keyless. He has a problem. He has to get his traps. He's laid up a setup to deal with. And he's going to wrap around. He has been spotted. The pesky player now seen. Meadow can't do much about it. And Keyless, just cleans up the last two. Upgrades his weapon on the way out. And Ascend are showing us they are clean at the start of split.
Was he running with that Spectre since the bonus?
Yeah, I think so. He's been running that for a while.
How many players at 4K then? 9K even? I think there was 4 players that had max cash.
Yeah, it doesn't need it. He just keeps the Spectre until he gets a free gun, Ryan.
Zeke's having a real bad day with his ultimates. Like, he's just been outmaneuvered for the most part.
Yeah.
G2, what on earth can you do at this point? This is kind of like the more problematic G2, I suppose, that we have been seeing throughout. Again, same utility, same kind of default. Seeing it now with that operator in mid playing off of it. Razor's moved over to A. Still has Boombot. No utility really required all that much from Ascend. Whereas you look at what G2 have, despite being an eco, it says a lot about how much utility they're using early on.
Oh, good to see Hoodie actually get away with the first kill play and also get a little taste of what is to come with Nukia's movement. If you haven't seen that clip, make sure you go check it out. I'm sure it's on social media or on the front page of the Valorant competitive subreddit. You guys can go have a look at what Lothar called the best play of the year so far. So go take a look at that.
It's definitely one of the best aces I've seen.
Oh, it is utterly incredible. Right now, though, G2 still have a chance. And oh my god, Bone Cold wasn't looking the right way. And that's going to be a free kill for Mixwell as he now charges down into the site. CNED has taken Hoodie down, and Zeke under so much pressure. Mixwell just throws a knife right into his chest. Can't get much more than that, though. Nukia and Meadow still into 2v2. 34 seconds left. Spike will go down inside of this A site, and we have to look to Ascend to try and get into the site here. Rez comes in. Bone Cold back up.
First death, I think. Been brought back, so I might have to double it. But look at this proactiveness from Meadow. He's actually pushed all the way into screens, but he just has the sheriff.
Yeah, Meadow holding. Starkstone tries to peek him. And we'll hold him off for now. Nukia now thrust into the clutch. Is this going to be the impact we see out of him? Showstopper misses the kill, so that increases the difficulty of this clutch significantly. Nukia plays on the side. They run into him. The spacing's better. Starkstone comes in with the headshot, and Nukia will go down. Starkstone to the defuse. He'll hold it through. And Nukia, it's close, but it's no cigar for him. 6 in a row now for Ascend.
Just as G2 were looking to do more in that eco round than they have done in their past 6, like, full buys or whatever they've had so far, really kind of goes to show that G2 can make stuff work. Once they get that first kill, once they get the opening, they're just such a train, being able to execute onto sites. But just the decision making to resurrect, to bring back Bone Cold, take that Heaven control. And despite Nukier having a great day today, really wasn't enough to try and win out in a 1 versus 2. Ascend's team play really starting to come alive since Ascend, and it's flourishing now on this map. 6-0, G2 yet to get off the board.
Oh, CNED, Paranoia connects onto him. Could be forced to go into more of a sensitive position, and goes for the repeat. CNED comes out on top of Nukia. He's holding for the Heaven play. He reads it, but he can't get the kill. In fact, CNED has to try and recover with his position, but Mixwell and Hoodie together are able to take the kills here for G2, so they'll hold the advantage for now. Neural Theft popped out. Avova now heads in the middle. He looks for Bone Cold Barrel, and he will see it. The Omen diff this round goes G2's way. And now Starkso and Zeke looking like the first round they will lose here, Ascend. G2 finally get themselves in a comfortable position with numbers to their advantage.
Look at the money. It's not even really worth saving. I don't think. Just kind of go for those fights. You still have plenty of money to work with. Keep that damage coming in for G2 because their money is so bad. Even a buy-up might not be possible if they win the round. Sage Wall is going to put Hoodie into a nice position when it comes to being able to peek out. But Saxo still making it costly. Finally, G2 get that round, but they lose 3 in the process. Much better all around in terms of macro. You have a Vova lurking in mid as well, just holding that flank. Catches Bone Cold by surprise. But a lot more needs to be done. Ascend only need 1 more round and they go into halftime with the lead. But it could still be pretty dominant in their favor. We'll have to see.
Yeah, the buy up here for G2. The rifles out. No operator yet for Mixwell. Is going to keep the 5 rifle setup. And for Ascend, they will get the operator back in the hands of CNED, who certainly could have done more damage in the last round. Felt like he just got caught in an awkward position. G2, look at this round in terms of the numbers they've got towards A. It's very heavy from them. Mixwell is going to be running up in towards Heaven. CNED too quick for his own good, unable to take the pick. Ball goes up to try and disallow his impact in this round and puts more pressure on Zeke towards the back of the site.
He's still playing on the back. A bit of a gap where Nukier is more focused towards defender spawn. And Zeke from Elbow is still able to get a lot done. Has a bit of support from Keyless, but takes a lot of damage. The pinch is nice from Meadow. And just as Keyless goes to peek out, Hoodie's on rafters.
Yeah, we'll see CNED, Bone Cold, and Starkso. A 3v4 rather, and player deficit. Spike finally will start to go down. And Bone Cold.
Spike planted.
We'll see if he can get involved in this round. It's been impactful to start this day off, to say the least. He has been great to watch in that respect. Gonna try and get his way out through this smoke, but Mixwell is holding it. It's gonna be difficult to get out of this one alive. G2 take 2, and it's just Starkso left. Operator begins to back away.
You will not kill my
Resurrect even dedicated from G2. Just because that economy is so tight that they want to just be taking as many guns as possible. Keep it rolling if they can. And really just these fast like A-ramp executes have been working out pretty well. It's a big cost, certainly when you have to think about the fact that Evolver's using that Paranoia, the only flash that G2 have available, just to get A-ramp control. Allows Mixwell to sort of dash up, able to sort of go in from that spot, and yeah, a lot of that success I think has been found there for the most part. I will say, however, that it is space that Ascend has given up. Hopefully we're getting back into it soon, but the thing that I'm excited about is that this is likely to just continue to adapt in this style with more Omen, with even more Brimstone on this map, because there were teams that used to play him a long time ago before Astra was in the game.
Yeah,
now with this meta coming up, Split's going to change a lot.
Yeah, it really is. And Bone Cold is going to have a field day when those changes come in. It's going to be great to see. But we return to the action. Apologies for the technical difficulties, but we have got it resolved as quickly as possible. Team here, so we are back into play. Zeke starting to realize that maybe G2 have been exploiting A a little bit more. He's going to actually try and put some resistance there early, uses the Boombot to clear out Mixwell and get that info. But the spike's actually currently placed outside of B, Ryan, so maybe G2 going for a bit of a change up here.
Paranoia actually used across this main A entranceway just because of that pressure that was put on. You could see that Avova was going to try and use it across A ramp, but used it a bit more shallower. See that even finding that opening onto the lurking Omen. But did they spot Meadow as well? It's playing in that mid position. Well, actually, they're playing high contact. The camera is going to protect. And Nuki doesn't know just how much out of the open he is.
Yeah, that is rough. Gets spotted by Keyless. He has the info, but can he deal with it? Oh, Hoodie able to react in time just before CNED brings him down. So at least it's 1 for 1. Starks out towards Heaven. Alongside Zeke now tossing those paint shells down in towards Mail to try and hold them back, and now they're trying to help the side, but Nukia, he's starting to come into action. He's found himself a follow-up headshot, but CNED is having a CNED round. He's found 4 already, and he looks to take down the counterpart on the other side, the star of the show for G2 up against CNED, but CNED is the best on the server. 5 picked up. He shows why he has got it. He shows he's got the superstar power as they head to 7.
He was too upset, I suppose, about people talking about how Nukia was solid. Now he's having those moments, both him, Bone Cold, Staxo, all on that 10 kill mark. Not just one player showing up, they all start to work. And even in this moment, there was a chance that G2 were able to do that typical thing of pulling those players back and bringing that advantage in their favor. But just this is the thing.
A little chit chat about how they want to approach the rest of this, because they know that they took a lot of damage and their economy's kind of on the ropes. This is a very important round for Ascend if they want to have a convincing half here. For G2, about getting back into this. You know, this is your opportunity. You've got a gun round right back again. You know if you hit them one more time, that money is down.
Interesting how Ascend are adapting to like the paranoia plays up on ramp. Zeke is not afraid to make a statement. It is going to get used, not really connect. Zeke is in that spot. He's happy to give up that position. He made a lot of noise from there. And immediately, Bone Cold has rotated. 2 are playing from A tower on the defense.
Next wall. He's been finding a good bit of impact up here. This time, just 1. Now they look to CNED. He finds himself 1. Nukia angry about losing the 1v1 in the last round is looking to hunt him down and throws the pinch shells towards him. He will get a little bit of revenge. CNED down and out. And now we have to look to the rest of the forces here for Ascend. Theft comes in, so position known, and that allows, well, forces Nukia into the showstopper play and actually gets away with it. So a desperation play that works out for Nukia. And he's going to reposition because of that. Here comes the counterpart of the showstopper. Nukia eats that one. Meadow, position no, but he's done a lot of work, and unfortunately, a lot more work needed, and he won't be able to complete the job. Keyless closes, and now we look to 8 rounds on the board for Ascend. A good recovery, and again, just down to 1 player. These rounds are coming real close, but Ascend are winning in the squeaky ones.
Especially when you bear in mind that the res was dedicated as well to bring in Zeke. So 6 versus 5 still comes down to just that 1 player of Keyless to win out the round. Scoreline not really matching how these rounds are going. G2 are making it very close, but just can't confirm them in the end. Ultimate's big ones dedicated on the side as well with a Resurrect and Showstopper from Ascend. A little bit more for G2 to work with. As you're seeing, money not great. And even that, Ascend winning these rounds, still down to double digits when it comes to economy. CNED again having to buy up the op. Down to 50 credits. They lose this, they have the eco going into round 12 as well. So G2 can do a lot of damage here, but it's still rough.
Yeah, it's still very, very rough. And a big part of the success is getting at least 1 kill up towards Heaven here in the back of Mixwell. Oh, here comes the Boombot over the top. CNED forced back, and he's going to try and get something done. Mixwell, again, good for 1. This time onto CNED. So that's a big player out of play. That's a lot of investment gone, and nothing picked up for Ascend as the kills all ran in for G2. It's a 3-man advantage to start the round, and it's just Bone Cold left. And he would need a bone-shaking clutch, but it's not going to happen. Nukia keeps it clean. In fact, so clean that it's flawless.
Feels like that we've been on the precipice for that kind of round for quite some time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And G2's executes have been solid. Like, I don't know if it was Lover that said at the start of the day that their executions utility-wise looked off. Much improved today for the most part. Like, it takes a lot to try and like burst your way in, and the timing of these splits, a lot of pressure coming through. And even just like, you have to play as A tower, you have to play at A main, and then just Evolver going on these lurks, being a lot more of a player to find these openings. Really is catching Ascend out in a lot of these fights. Gonna try and execute B on this last one. And as you're seeing, money is just not there for Ascend in this last round.
Charge forward, Mixwell. Front of the pack, front of the charge forward, and Nukia. It's 2 for him. Fantastic start to crack open a hole in the defense. Make it 3 as Nukia just doesn't stop. And when he's on the race, it's almost inevitable he's going to have a good game. And for Ascend, they are feeling his wrath. 4 kills as now he pops the showstopper. It's damn close. Zeke, you lucky guy to avoid that. And now they know his position. They're good teammates. They would let Nukia close this with the ace. Gonna try, he'll send his paint shells in. Zeke has to try and dodge them. He'll be down to 30. Still alive, still walking, but he is certainly the walking wounded. With a shorty, he wants to come in close. He wants to pull his prey around the side, but it's the possible flank from Nukia that could start to come in. It could get very,
Zeke
very
doesn't want to give it
interesting.
up.
Yeah, Zeke is just sitting here. Nukia's right behind him. It's 5 for Nukia. How many aces are we going to see in this map?
I mean, G2 again sort of letting him have that one, but him versus CNED, that's the thing that's really starting to heat up as CNED got that ace, was looking clinical, and Ascend were pulling the lead on this. It's now Nukia that has the most kills in the server. Now let's see what the switch around is going to be like. 8 rounds on the defense, definitely workable for Ascend as they go into his attack. But this is where G2 can maybe show a little bit more. Some of these other players as well, like Avova, very pivotal in taking map control. But now he has to try and do what Bone Cold did with his B main presence. Has the help of Mixwell this time.
Last player standing.
It just feels kind of like the bullets for Nukia at this point were magnetic, right? Just shooting through smokes and getting the right connection.
Heat-seeking bullets. Mixwell gets aggressive. Right into CNED. It's a good opening. CNED bests him, and now they charge forward. Ascend look to be quick in this pistol. Look to be very quick indeed. They run forward. CNED creates that space, and now the wall up allows for the cross to the site safely. 3 players down, has been spotted in Ascend. It is a massacre. They decorate the floor in the blood of G2. And now Meadows swings into the open. Tap is there, and Starks out of the headshot. It will be the pistol picked up for Ascend, and for G2, that's a bit of a nightmare. You do not want to lose the pistol in the second half like that.
Your metaphors are grim, I swear.
Yeah, it's brutal, right?
Yeah, like it's just like, just such a nasty way to put it.
No, painting a lovely picture for you guys at home. Enjoy your evening.
It's
with that in your
gritty.
head.
I mean, the server overall is pretty gritty, so I think it matches for the most part.
Yeah, I think it works with this matchup.
If there's one thing to do in that scenario for Mixwell, you know that there's players there. It's likely going to be a B lean from the players that you did spot agent-wise. Just going for that peak initially. Even sort of considers doing it again, down to 61 HP straight away, and second round so far in his defense, he's the first death.
Well, Ascend. First kill of play is theirs, and they'll be happy about that. I'll play a bullet spamming on down. Cutting the health of Meadow. It's just over half. I'll drop back and play from the back corner. But for Ascend, this round's all about keeping it clean, limiting the casualties. You don't want to have to call in the reserves the next round. You want to try and keep this clean so you can get the bonus out. Nukia close, about to swing into mail, and CNED will best him. Oh, he'll not just do that. He'll find a follow-up, this time through the smoke. CNED, such a methodical player. Won't be flawless here for Ascend, but certainly looking clean enough. They lose 2 players, and they keep up 3 Spectres into the next round, and 10 rounds now collected for Ascend. G2, what have they got? The buys coming in.
Different vibe, right? Like you think of the way that Ascend treated their anti-ecos on Ascent. Very slow, avoiding the stacks on their attacking side. They kind of guessed that G2 were going to stack towards the B side and then still ran into it. It just shows a whole level of confidence on playing this map, finding those duels and having that ability versus Ascent, where it was a lot more, all right, we need to be careful. This is G2's map pick. They know how they want to play it.
This is a true bonus, but I have to agree with you, Ryan. It feels like Ascend in this map have now changed their tone entirely, right? They're playing from a completely different instrument. This is a confident Ascend. This isn't Ascend where CNED is just unleashed. And Bladestorm popped in the bonus. He's going to try and get them over the line here to keep their economy good, but Mixwell will take him out of the sky. Kilo's
Immediate
moves
reset.
Hoodie. Yeah.
A lot of map control. The Sage roll is a bit more problematic, but it can still just teleport over it for the most part. Take these duels, break it. Even not afraid to give up that information because a rotate for G2 is now going to come in. Going to try and scale it through. Meadows trying to watch the cross, but this double peek is nice. Just Seacock for himself up as a bit of a wider bit of bait. Bone Cold can pick up a weapon upgrade.
Yeah. This changes the round entirely now, Ryan. That they've got 2 Phantoms in play.
he's playing on the top of wood. Like, he wants to fight people. He is absolutely, he's warmed up. To say the very least, Bone Cold is not afraid.
Map 3, ready to go. He's on fire at this point. Avova and Mixwell, they are trying to force the issue. They're trying to get into the site. Here they go. Charging right in. Bone Cold and Stark, so they clean it up and Ascend. Yes, they do. They have their bonus. And that's 11 rounds and plenty of cash now flowing through their bank accounts. For G2, it's looking a bit rough now. They have a lot of work to do to get back into this one.
Are they forcing as well?
They are. They're buying up judges. They're buying up one Phantom. They've got a Bulldog. They got a Sheriff. They brought everything they can. It's not a lot.
This goes here.
No, we never saw like the same sort of play paranoia coming out straight away onto A ramp, again given up by G2, playing 2 on the site. Guardian over on the spot. Mixwell also having a judge playing in on this corner.
Okay. Mixwell, this is very close and personal, and maybe a little bit too close, because Zeke forces him to obey the social distancing rules. Takes him down. Starkso will res up his teammate, and now 4 players left for G2. They'll send the Boombot in towards defender's spawn to do some damage. Navova is forced back, forced into the recessive position.
Planted.
Ascend feeling good about this. They've got the site, they've got the player advantage, and they know they've got weapon superiority.
Bova can't even peek onto elbow. Just every sight line, every bit of post-plant positioning is way too good for G2 to handle. They have to save this gun. They can't even do that before CNED shuts them down. 12-4. G2 do not have a lot of money coming into this. And it's looking pretty much down and out for G2. It'd have to be something spectacular to work this way back. But it's just not working. Send, they don't even need bind. They got split on the back burner that they can rely on when they need to. G2, 4 Guardians and a judge, again for Mixwell. Playing in that same spot.
Yeah.
Luckily, Ascend not heading in his direction. They're looking to go B.
Look at the kill spread right now for Ascend, Ryan. You know, you can't see it now, but it's just so close across the board across 4 players. So
it's a team performance.
Yeah, massive team performance. And close and personal as Meadow. He's going to see the numbers now swinging their way in, but Hoodie has decided it's time to whack out the guillotine. He's taking 2 heads. Luckily, Bone Cold will put an end to his massacres. And now puts it into the 4 versus 3. G2 still hold this advantage on the defense, but Bone Cold looks to thin the herd, cuts down the legs of the defense numbers, and now just one left. It's Starkso and Avova showing the Guardian will do exactly that. Guards the B site with clean headshots, and G2, well, they have the life support.
Yeah, he was on 11 HP, and it's lucky they didn't die because Mixwell still had the judge in hand. Dashes across to try and pull some of the crosshairs in his direction. Again, selfless. That's kind of what you expect from him. But if it came down to it in a 1 versus 1 and he has the judge in hand, it's going to be awkward. Lifeline for G2. Hard to say it's going to be a comeback from this point onwards. Even the full buy that's coming in of over just has enough for half armor. But ultimates could be the difference, right? Resurrect is still available. And Ascend currently don't have all that much to work and rely on when it comes to the ults, at least.
Camera taken out.
CNED swings out. Ravenous yet again. CNED looks for the follow-up, but Nukia probably is only equal on the serve for the moment. On the other side of things, takes him down.
There.
We're back to an equilibrium. If we play over a minute, there's still a lot of time here for Ascend, so wouldn't be surprised to see them slow this one down. Neural Theft has come in just to reveal the positions of Ascend for the time being. Yeah, slipping their way through ropes. Looks like an ace split on the cards here, Ryan.
Vova can kind of tell. Trying to anchor in onto that site all on his own. He can't even, from the shadows, ult out to try and just escape from a precarious situation. Tripwire's been broken. And G2, this is still a slow... Like, they're not even believing that it could be a bit of a rotate. They just want to make sure that mid's cleared, that it's not a giveaway. And this is so unique. Ascend going through screens to try and pinch him behind.
Yeah, this is a weird split. This is going to be hard for Avova to deal with because they're going to come from 2 sides. He's not ready. Yeah, he's just not looking the right way. And that's really well played from Ascend, just a crunch in the sight. And now they know what the remaining players are for this retake. G2 is starting to come back in. That neural theft revealing their positions. Nowhere is safe now. Nukia gets caught from Stark, so from the shadows used up, but Meadow and Mixwell into the 2 versus 4. If G2 pull off this retake, I'll eat my phone. This is not looking too likely at all. And I've got a pretty good big phone, Ryan.
Yeah, post plants. It's very, very unlikely.
At this point, Meadow's going to start coming through. Mixwell's found one. Mixwell dives down but gets removed by Zeke, and Meadow falls as well. 13-5 win. Ascend will recover